Hello, I'm Janelle Shalla, and in this video I'll be discussing Danburite. Danburite is a calcium borosilicate. You can see a really lovely example of the slightly pinkish variety that comes from Mexico. Calcium borosilicate, meaning that it contains calcium boron and is a silicate, so that's kind of obvious. You get with the good crystals, you get this really lovely chisel head sort of shape to it. It's one of the identifying factors. And it shines with such a lovely, clear, bright energy and light. A lot of people believe that this light comes from another dimension or from spirit, rather than from refraction of the earthly light. And it does bring that kind of quality with it. It brings in a real love of the divine, so you can really connect with spirit and connect with the higher echelons of love, rather than earthly, physical, messy love. This is the really high planes of love. It also is very nurturing and helps with self-love. That piece I just showed you, this is a very expensive mineral, so when we're working in healing, we tend to work with smaller pieces. This is a very good example here. It's still a perfect crystal, really lovely, lots of rainbows in it, but it's a smaller crystal, more affordable and easier to use on clients because you're not lumping a great big whacking thing on them. I tend to use it on the heart. It does have a wide color range, so you'll have other colors going through, but almost all of them seem to work very much with the heart. It releases old held yucky energy that even energy we've brought in from past lives and old past trauma. And it will release this mainly from the heart, but it can also release anger and fear from the solar plexus and sadness from the heart and lungs. This is another example. I'm not certain where this came from, but I suspect this is probably from Afghanistan. The more opaque varieties tend to come from Afghanistan. I'll probably be told off because I'm probably completely wrong and this is another Mexican one, but I'm not sure, so don't take my word for it. Anyway, this is more typical of the denser, not quite so high grade varieties that are available. In some examples, and this is again the Mexican Danburite, we do get them covered with a druzy quartz. This is rather funny looking. I mean, seriously, it's funny looking. You know what I mean. I love druze. Druze has a different energy from normal quartz. The quartz that has the long, spiky, long columnar crystals, it's more serious. There's something about druze quartz that has this really lovely playfulness about it. And because there's kind of a fairy energy about Danburite anyway, and a real playfulness to the energy, I mean, it does make people laugh and it makes them want to lighten up and be playful. This just intensifies that feeling. Plus the fact that any quartz that is in conjunction with another crystal will amplify the qualities of that crystal. So it's not quite as gentle to work with, but it's still quite fun, and you have to admit it does look quite funky, that one. If you're a collector and you want something that's really mega to put in your collection that's to do with this Danburite, this is a huge mega piece of it. I mean, this is phenomenal. It's just the tip. The crystal's obviously been broken off at some point, but this is not cheap. So if you want something like this, expect to pay for it. But isn't it beautiful? Isn't it glorious? It just has that lovely laughing sort of quality to it. You feel like just having it in the room would make it a real lovely, loving experience.